Hi guys, so Nicola Sturgeon has resigned. While the news did shock Scotland and people who support her around the world, it can't be described as a surprise considering the pressure she's been under over the last few months. Now, I think a number of things have led to her resignation. The bigotry over trans rights is one, a frustration with Westminster over devolution, and finally she and her government have become a target by anti-independence forces in London and in the media. Here she delivered part of her resignation speech, but what comes next?
While I am stepping down from leadership, I am not leaving politics. There are many issues I care deeply about and hope to champion in future. One of these is the Promise, the national mission so close to my heart to improve the life chances of care experienced young people and ensure they grow up nurtured and loved. My commitment to these young people will be lifelong. And obviously, there is independence. Winning independence is the cause I have dedicated a lifetime to. It is a cause I believe in with every fibre of my being. And it is a cause I am convinced is being won. I intend to be there as it is won every step of the way. Yesterday morning, I attended the funeral of a very, very dear friend and long-standing independence activist, a wonderful man by the name of Alan Angus. It was actually during that funeral service that I went from being 99% certain about this decision to 100% certain, though I know Alan would not be at all happy to have played any part in my departure, so I'm sorry, Alan. But his funeral reminded me that the cause of independence is so much bigger than any one individual, that all of us who believe in it contribute in different ways at different stages of our lives. Since I was 16, I have contributed as an activist, a campaigner, and a leader. And so now as we look to what I firmly believe is the final stage in Scotland's journey to independence, albeit a hard one, I hope to use all the experience and perspective I've gathered over these years to help get us there.
Okay. So independence being the main topic here of discussion. And as I said, she's been under a massive amount of pressure from all sides. And I think what she's doing here is she's understanding that she has become a distraction for the independence movement. And we're seeing, look, I'm no fan of polls, but recent polling has showed that there's less support for independence. Now, of course, you'll find polls that will say there's more support. You'll find polls that are showing that there's less support. But she's been seen as a distraction, I think. And she understands that herself, that the anti-independence movements in Westminster, also in Scotland, are focusing on her and her government and trying to use her and her government as an excuse for why Scotland should not be independent. So perhaps she sees this as, okay, if I'm damaging the independence movement, then I need to step down. I need to put somebody else in place. I think also the pressures, political pressures, and the psychological pressures she's been put under by bigots. Let's call them, that's what they are, bigots in Scotland and in England, who have been using the trans issue as a tool to bring her down. I think that was instrumental, but I don't think that was the whole story. I think she understands that if independence is being harmed by her remaining in power, remaining in her position, then it makes sense to resign. Because even if she were to reshuffle her cabinet, or if she was to take some other direction, I don't think it would make much difference. So what's going to happen next? Well, she's going to find a successor. She's going to remain in place until a successor has been elected. I imagine you're going to have perhaps a pretty disgusting campaign taking place within the SNP, because the party is quite divided on a number of issues, and it's going to be difficult, I think, to find somebody who will unite the party, especially over the last number of months, the type of rhetoric that has come out. And there are people within the within the independence movement, for example, the Alba people who would like to see the SNP collapse completely. They, in my eyes, I think they're more interested in getting the SNP out than actually Scotland becoming independent. But also you have the Labour Party and the Conservatives in Scotland who are seeing an opportunity to take votes away from the SNP and bring down the independence movement. So it's going to be a very rocky period going ahead for both the independence movement and the SNP. They'll need to have a candidate who can unite, and I think that's going to be difficult. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.